It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Oh, let's review.
We'll analyze the scene.
Sounds holly jolly to me.
Before it's over, let's begin.
Bum.
Bum.
That's right, folks. Since the Christmas season is upon us, we thought the way to celebrate and get into the holiday spirit would be with some holiday reviews.
6 to be exact. Selected and arranged for your Yuletide pleasure.
So silver up those bells, light the multicolored lights, and go out and build a snowman as we engage in some
Seasonal
seasonal
shenanigans!
shenanigans. And tonight, for our penultimate installment this year, get your reindeer nip laced fruitcake ready because Grandma got run over by a reindeer. And Grandpa's going to sue the pants off of Santa. That's what he's going to do. Oh boy, Dragon! I don't know if we're ready for this one, man. This thing is a whole other. I mean, there's more insane Christmas specials than this. You know, there's like Rhapsody Street Kids, which I think we're gonna have to get to eventually, which is just like it's a whole other level from this. But this is pretty damn insane. I mean, this is a hallmark of like when you think of a fucking just a batshit off the rails Christmas special that still is like trying to adhere to the holiday tropes and be a family Christmas movie. This is towards the top of the list. Kogias, I do like it, but it's fucking crazy. I can like something and still have it be crazy at the same time. Dragon, what are your thoughts on this fine piece of work?
So I remember I've used to be. I mean, still essentially, but maybe not as fervently do I seek it out. But it's very much it's a seasonal hallmark. You check it out every year. It's an annual thing. This is such a charmingly hokey Christmas special.
I think the charm of it is just the fact that it is very self-aware.
Yeah. This is like an example of milking a Christmas song for all it's worth. Like what is the absolute most we can get from from this song and kind of expanding upon
Dare I
it.
say every part of the buffalo?
I don't know about that, but as I'm saying, we're not paying off everything. I mean, that's the thing. Technically, the song's about murder, and we don't have the murder, so. Anyway, this is such an out there idea. As a kid, I think for a lot of kids, it's kind of the gateway to a lot of the other Christmas classics. For example, there's a little bit of Miracle on 34th Street here, a little bit, and I think I think you could you can make the assumption of Santa Claus in a courtroom. If you were to see this, it would make you look into some of the other stuff.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it's just so crazy that again, like our source material is is a folksy, morbid Christmas song, and that's essentially where we derived all of this from. That's what's so interesting about it. That again, we got a lot of mileage.
That it takes the morbidness of the song, and it doesn't just leave it at the song. It's kind of like, okay, let's kind of have the whole special sort of coded in this weird off-color tone.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so Dragon, I imagine there's some crazy background behind this thing. Do you have anything of note?
Well, not a lot. Just a few things we want to make note of. Some things that might surprise you. Okay, so unsurprising. So this song was the song itself. So this is not the anniversary year for the special, but it is for the song. The song turned 45.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so the song came out in 79. It was a Randy Brooks and Elmo Shropshire song. Shropshire, I believe, is the singer. At the very least, he is the guy playing, the adult narrator, Jake Spankenheimer, as well as Grandpa Spankenheimer. So that's the guy who does the song. Anyway, so yeah, so the song came out and it very much was like, kind of the fun, hokey Christmas song, but then kind of kept coming back and back. And I think there was a music video of it. And then like, over the years, it was like, hey, let's milk the enterprise and let's give it an animated special because, those are big. And I think the logic was, who the heck are we going to get to make this special? Well, let's go to the guys at the top of the heap for making the beloved holiday special. So you have one of the basically the animator and animation studio behind both the Peanuts and Garfield. Phil Roman. This is a Phil Roman production.
Oh man.
So again, Phil Roman, not to be underestimated. Phil Roman was like an animator on kind of all your classic
Like he's
favorites.
not Rankin Bass, but I feel like individually he's done some really great stuff.
That's thing. This wasn't just a studio. This is a studio, and he was the director on this too. So they must have done such a song and dance to get him in on this.
Right, right.
So again, it started as a direct-to-video. It was released in 2000, and then basically became like an annual thing on the kind of the WB, then to the now CW. So that's where it exclusively shows up there, and then sometimes it'll bleed into Cartoon Network.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's very interesting. We have Z and K in the channel saying, in the chat, I'm sorry, saying you can argue a lot of Rankin Bass specials have the same take the song and use as many elements from the song as possible.
Which is probably the jumping off point, because again, we've done this with the greats. Frosty being being a prime example. You got Frosty and Rudolph, and
Dragon, I all I'm asking for is an animated special based on the Weird Al song "The Night Santa Went Crazy." Can we please get that?
I mean, they're running out of songs. Eventually, they're going to
That's
have
what
to
I'm
consider
saying.
that's the thing, that we've taken all the songs, all the Rankin Bass stuff is literally we're taking a Christmas song as the basis. Santa Claus is coming to town. Winter
Rudolph,
Wonderland.
Frosty the Snowman.
And here's the thing, Winter Wonderland was essentially is Frosty's wedding. So we
Right.
so that's the whole Crystal the Snow Wife thing. We've done everything at this point. And then the Grinch was retro. The Grinch was getting reversed. We had the story and then the special, which then gave us the song. So yeah.
All right. We have Teddy in the comments. He's saying terrible movie, but I like how Grandma looks like she would start hitting people with a cane just for fun. This Grandma is a lot of fun, and I'm sure we'll get into it.
I want to emphasize this too. Movie in quotes. All right, direct to video, but still, like
it's a special. It's a Christmas special.
It is a special. I just want everything. It keeps everyone says the film, the movie. Like, come on, man. It's like 51 minutes.
Teddy says he wants an animated special based on the "It's Always Sunny" Christmas song.
Well, we already got that in the Always Sunny episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that the one from that's the one we did for Christmas in July, right?
I presume that's what it
They
is.
don't really do all that many Christmas episodes.
I think that's the only Christmas special.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because some shows like that kind of make it a big deal to do like a big Christmas thing every year.
There's one, maybe two Christmas specials tops for It's Always Sunny, and the main one is the one we covered.
Uh-huh. I would like a full animated special in that style, though. All right. Well, there are 2 great animated music videos available on YouTube for The Night Santa Went Crazy. Yeah, but screw that noise. I want the whole origin story, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see the lead up to him going crazy. I want to see the lawyers get involved. I want to see it all, man. All right. Kogia says, I think that the special is pretty good. I think Cousin Mel is the highlight. All right, Dragon, let's just start breaking it down.
Let's do it.
All right. So I think what's funny about this special is that it starts innocently enough, and then just the longer it goes, it just kind of goes more and more off the rails.
Well, that's the thing. They really have nowhere. Technically, the special should end after Act 1, just per the song, because the song, everything afterwards, that's where the insanity. Okay, well, now we have to improvise a whole movie.
Right.
That's the thing. Okay, we have Grandma. She likes Christmas, and then collision. End. Wait, there's more. There's more. Why are there more pages? Who wrote this? Anyway.
But I do think that Cousin Mel is the highlight of this thing, for better or for worse. I think she is the most memorable element of it.
Yep. All right, so I guess to maybe kind of pad things out just to get the jump to Cousin Mel here. So We do add some sentiment, which I always appreciate. We have we have the Spankenheimer family. We have like just
Can we talk
Jake
about
is.
how bad of a name that is, though?
Oh, it's a terrible name, yeah.
That is one of the things about the special that has never sat right with me.
Especially because he's like a good kid too. It just doesn't really seem, like cousin Mel's last name should be Spankenheimer.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like that's one of many things in the special that they kind of just threw in just to be tongue in cheek and offbeat. And
Mind you, I'm sure the internet crowd would love to call her Spankenheimer for a different reason, but
oh
you take
boy,
my
all
yeah.
right, you went there. I didn't.
I'm just saying though, a lot of people apparently cousin I did a little apparently cousin Mel has a big fan base, maybe for the wrong reasons.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway, but yes, it is. It's a very again fits into the kind of the hokey vibe though. I do like there's a bit of it's almost a little like the kind of the stakes of Up in that everything else has been developed around them, but like the shop is like buried deep is like the last piece of old fashioned real
I do
estate.
like that visual. Yeah, it is kind of funny how like. I'm not going to say Pete Doctor lifted that from Up, but it
No,
is
no,
kind
no,
of funny
no.
how it kind of mirrors the image in Up. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see.
Can I get a hot take about Cousin Mel out of the way first?
All right, sure. What do you have about cousin Mel?
All right, Acts 2 and 3, yes, she goes off the rails. She is completely a villain, no doubt about it.
Well, yeah.
In the first act, I honestly am kind of more on her side.
Well, I mean, the only remember even in Act One, she's trying to poison fruitcake.
No, I'm saying but that's a reveal though. I'm saying like before that, like just basically just the initial setup of her of like we need to sell Grandma's shop because it's not making any money. It's in a terrible location. It's literally in the middle of nowhere. And we've got this big businessman who's going to give us a shit ton of money off of that we can live comfortably off of for a long time. Like honestly, Dragon, I see no and also like while it is nice the whole like, oh, your credit's good here, Martha. I kind of agree with Cousin Mel that that's no way to fucking run a business, dude. You're a business, not a charity.
She does have a point there, but you can tell the moment Austin Bucks walks in, though, she can smell money.
Right, right.
She can smell money on him like bad cologne.
Oh god. And can we also just acknowledge the absurdity of like literally like maybe like 5 minutes into the special we get Mr. Bucks dressed as an elf?
Well, no, he's a troll.
Oh, that's right. Oh my god, I love that.
Okay,
That's got to be just a little writing, sort of like tongue in cheek, like because it's by and large an elf costume.
okay. Here's the thing. While you really like Cousin Mel, I'm no joke. Ever since I saw it when I was a kid, still to this day, I love Austin Bucks in this. I think he's really cool.
Austin Bucks is really cool too. I really like him. I think he's a really fun kind of
No,
corporate sleazebag antagonist.
well, here's the thing though. He's not a sleazebag though. I
No,
think
no,
he's
no. You're
playing.
right. You're right. I was going to correct myself. Yeah, he is kind of doing everything he can to stop this. Like
Like
he
he's
does.
giving him a more than fair chance here. Like Austin hasn't really done anything. Again, Austin Bucks is a little like he's a little. I think there's a lot of impracticality with the Slaymobile, but aside from that, he's. I think he's a very above board with how he's doing things, more than fair. And I like one Cam Clark. I love casting him as Austin Bucks, and there's always like kind of the way Cam Clark plays a lot of these characters. Of course, Cam Clark, really good voice actor from the my go-to with him is Deflator Mouse from The Tick, but also he was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he pops up in a lot of places. Cam Clark's great. What I like about him is that he plays it very much. You can kind of tell he's playing it self-aware in terms. This is a guy who kind of knows that he's playing the sleazy business, but I like that he is adding a dimension to him.
He's kind of like halfway between like Daddy Warbucks and like the bank people from Mary Poppins. You know what I mean?
Sure, but again, like a self-aware way that is certain that is kind of subverting the expectation that okay, he's going to be dollars and cents, and it's going to be he's going to be trying to shut him down. He might have like an evil laugh or something. Or no, not remotely. We're going to dress him like an evil troll, but he is not an evil troll. Like Bucks, you know.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So, admittedly, overall, with the general store, you get a vibe that in the writing here. Okay, we've dumbed down, we're as dumbed down and wholesome as we can get in terms of our setup. And that's not a problem, though, but it definitely feels very unsettled. Like, okay, we're doing this for the kiddies. Here's the show. Like, okay, they really like Christmas. Grandma loves Christmas. We're going to feel sad when Grandma gets run over by the symbol of Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And, she's got the place looks really nice. You got baked goods, you got toys, you got Grandma reading to the kids. All that's real nice. And by the way, you know who I would cast in a heartbeat to play Grandma Spankenheimer?
Mm.
Annie Potts.
Yeah, I could totally see that for sure.
Easily. I think she's got Annie Potts.
She's kind of got that like southern wiliness to her.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's played 7 seasons of Grandma Spankenheimer, another show, which I think she definitely, there's your audition. She's got the role.
What show?
Young Sheldon.
Oh, right. Okay.
She's really good in that show.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so here's the fun thing about Cousin Mel. Cousin Mel, there's always a Cousin Mel in every family, and you're right.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I really feel like that's why Cousin Mel kind of like, she almost sort of like elevates herself beyond just this special. I kind of feel like she's one of the more memorable figures in like when you think of like 90s Christmas media in general. I think she pops up there, specifically because you're right, there is one of these in every family. I mean, it's almost unavoidable.
Yep. There's always
like these are the kind of people that are going to be knocking at the door the second that Grandma dies and the will is going to be read. You know what I mean?
Yep. By the way, I really love that the way you're viewing Cousin Mel at Act 1 and kind of portraying her in almost like a potential reboot of, not a gritty reboot, just a potential reboot of Grandma Got Over by Reindeer.
Look, I'm saying her character very obviously goes off the rails pretty quick.
I know, but
the initial setup of her,
hear me out,
kind
though.
of like, especially in today's 2024 fucking hellscape economy, I get it.
No, hear me out, though. It's that basically she's kind of exuding Jimmy McGill vibes. Like money is the point in the whole thing. It's very much like the Spankenheimers are running this place like Jimmy McGill's father, like Chuck Senior, where it's very much like.
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
But you see what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the thing. And again, Cousin Mel / young Jimmy McGill, not wrong in what they're saying here. You're being bamboozled, and Rod, you let that lady walk out with a full gingerbread house for nothing. She's gonna eat that. So again, Cousin Mel does have a point. I think she does go too far when she's gonna taint fruitcakes just out of spite.
Obviously, she goes too far. She goes full cartoon Snidely Whiplash villain on the situation. But yeah, I'm just saying the initial setup is understandable.
She does have a Jay Ward vibe about her.
A little bit, yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's see. So we do have a nice commentary on commercialism here and there. One, I mean, the business is called, what is it? I'm blanking on the name of it's like the All Corp or something. It was like, it's like, anyway. Fun, we're selling like inflatable Christmas trees, which I still think is a really funny, dumb idea.
I have a Christmas tree this year that my grandma bought that's literally just made entirely out of lights. Like, I think it looks pretty cool, but it's definitely not as charming as like a pine tree.
Oh yeah, but it's not inflatable is my point, though.
No, it's not. It's definitely a step up from that.
Yeah. I think it's the Own All Corp. That's what it is.
Ah, nice.
But yeah, so like the Own All Corp and all this sort of the idea. Okay, we're so again. There has to be a self-aware component. Like, okay, look, guys, we know we didn't really, we had very little to work with here. We had one song and we had to kind of spin it from there. We can't really do a lot of world building on the budget that we have. So it's the Own All Corp. And they're making stuff like inflatable trees and sleigh mobiles. Are they practical at all? Heck no. Are we gonna are we trying to drive like a point home with Christmas and commercialism? Absolutely. Do the family have any good reason to be disinterested in Christmas? Not remotely, given they run a Christmas general store. Now, something I still think really holds up. We all love fruitcake jokes, and this special does have a lot of great fruitcake.
This special might go the hardest on fruitcake out of any Christmas special, and it is pretty fun for that.
The fruitcake song is insanely catchy, I felt.
I mean, it's not the catchiest song in the special. We all know what that is. But...
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But still, it's always fun making fun of fruitcake because it's always such a It's like from
I
a
love how big of
distance.
a plot point the fruitcake becomes. It really is kind of like Deus Ex fruitcake.
With our food animation proclivities,
Mm-hmm.
we'll say the way we animate this fruitcake does look very tempting, doesn't it? Does it almost tempts you into eating fruitcake?
Dragon, I'll be honest with you. I've had. I think the problem with fruitcake is if you just kind of like leave it out sitting for weeks, then yeah, it's gonna get hard and gross.
Mm.
I've had like small fruitcakes right out of the oven. They're delightful. I
But
like.
doesn't this look like a delicious fruitcake though?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the way we animate the texture and the sound design. Like even though we bounce it on the floor, it still sounds pretty good. It's like it's almost like sponge cake mixed with fruit.
That's the thing. I like sponge cake. I like
Yeah,
fruit. It's yeah.
but that's the thing. I don't think like is all fruitcake essentially sponge cake with fruit in it, or is that just like the
Basically, as far as I know.
yeah? There you go. Anyway, so Austin Bucks comes in dressed like a troll. He makes an offer, while she's reading to the kids. Doesn't basically she turns it down. What if she like turns it to the kid? Like what do you think? No, I don't think you should sell this place, especially to make room for like a snowmobile dealership. Like no, don't do
I
that.
will say the relationship between the grandma and the grandson has always kind of been very heartwarming to
It
me. I think they really got it right.
Me too. We're both grandma boys.
Oh yeah, yes, we are, Dragon.
Yep, it warms the cockles of the heart. Anyway, so it's Christmas Eve. This is where we get into the big. Oh, here's something that I want to highlight. Grandpa, who's a footnote in the song. I do like that we, have some. There's some unspoken bond there. There's,
I
Grandpa
just
saying, "Let
really
me give you
like how
some."
the unspoken thing with Grandpa is just that he's kind of like just inches away from full on Alzheimer's. Like he's still got himself together enough, but like he's slipping, man. His mental state is obviously slipping, and we don't really dwell on that in the special because it'd be a downer, but it's there. It's there in the background if you're paying attention at
I
all.
did not read any of that in at all. Why do you think he has Alzheimer's, Stinky?
Well, look, I'm just saying because of how easily manipulated he is.
Well, I guess
I
I
mean,
don't know. I thought
maybe Alzheimer's is too. I'm just saying, like his mind is going. Like you can tell that, like he's not in like peak mental state right
So
now.
your version of things is basically like during that song where it says I'd rather sing. He's literally breaking the song in the restaurant. Everyone's looking at it like, wait, what is going
I
on?
mean, basically, yes.
That's the thing, but that's like imagine like you should frame it from Cousin Mel's POV during that scene where it's just like, why is he standing on the table and singing like Elvis right now? What's happening?
I mean, that has always been one of my least favorite songs in this thing, just because the Elvis thing does just kind of come out of nowhere.
I don't know. Look, I think the Elvis thing's just kind of, it doesn't make any sense, but it's funny. It's kind of like, it's a random kind of a gag. Anyway, let's see. A point being though, the iconics. So it's Christmas Eve, family, essentially a bunch of jerks, just like ditching grandma on the holidays. Like you're watching sports. The
Yeah, can we
sister.
talk about how unfreaking likable the whole family is in this
Well,
moment?
there's one really good scene with the mother though. I think the mother has. I love the mother's explanation for Santa though, just being like, well, no, historically there was a. I really like that. I always love that from the special. That she does give a really diplomatic answer about the Santa
Mm.
Claus thing. That there was a real guy, and he basically went on to inspire just kind of the feeling of giving, which is like that's pretty accurate. That's a good. I would tell that to a kid.
The sister is about as unlikable as Cousin Mel, but she's not nearly as fun as Cousin Mel.
Yep, she's cousin Melanie.
Oh God.
But I'm with you though. It just feels like she's just kind of needling the boy, just for because she's the sister. She's as archetypal and tropey as
I
the
love how
trophy
I love how
wife.
the boy just literally looks at the camera and is like, "Sisters, am I right?" He doesn't exactly say that, but he might as well say
Well, he
that.
just says sisters, but again,
Sisters.
he's breaking the fourth wall there. It's like, yep. It's like Jazz Fenton from Danny Phantom, just without the growth.
Kevin McAllister shows up and he's like, "Buddy, you have no fucking idea."
Yep, just wait there. You're gonna have one of your brothers is gonna win an Emmy, and he's gonna beat Scott Pilgrim. It's gonna be a whole.
He's probably going to win an Oscar this year, Dragon. I'm not kidding. He is the front runner for supporting actor this year.
Wouldn't that be a big twist of fate that he wins the Oscar and like Macaulay's like,
I think it's
well,
happening, Dragon. I think it's happening.
just imagine like what do you say about this? Hey, I'm as shocked as everyone else, but I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, Kieran put the work in, man. I don't know.
No, that's what it is. Like,
I
hey,
mean,
hey, look,
I like Macaulay Culkin current day. I like his attitude about stuff, but like Kieran really is doing the heavy lifting with the acting department.
it would be so hokey and silly if just so we cut to Macaulay. What are your thoughts? He goes, "Oh, you won an Oscar!" Ah! Anyway,
On that note, I genuinely hope Macaulay is in the audience at the Oscars this year. All right. Anyways,
okay. So, let's see. Anyway, okay, so it's Christmas Eve again. The family leaves Jake to, kind of get into the spirit and decorate and do, Christmas stuff with her. Anyway, so she puts him to bed. So, grandma's had too much eggnog. Apparently, she has an egg allergy, so she takes medication for it,
which
which just
I
seems
can very relatable. I wish I could take allergies, or I wish I could take medication for egg allergy. Dragon, that doesn't exist. Believe me, if it did, I would know.
I know that's the thing. It feels like that. Like, really, why would she? It sounds like she needs eggnog because of the
I
song.
kind of feel like the eggnog sort of writes itself. It's fucking alcohol that's gonna
Yeah.
inebriate her, right? Like it's
Mhm.
silly to do the egg allergy. Although I guess the only reason why they did it is because it's a family special. But for
Yeah,
God's sakes, there's a lot of innuendos in this thing, and I'm kind of surprised that they drew the line at fucking alcohol.
that's true. I mean, again, technically, the whole thing's about murder.
Right.
Okay, so anyway, so they again the fan was like they begged her not to go. Well, I wouldn't be going so late. Maybe you guys help me out. She's like, what? I had homework. Oh yeah, you had homework on Christmas Eve. Really? You
Her
had
initial
homework?
excuse is literally that she needs to call her boyfriend.
Yeah, which is just why don't you change your story? Like, you know what, lady, girly, just get out of here.
Right.
Yeah, just ridiculous. Anyway, so they gotta admit though, in hindsight, Grandpa should have gone with her. In
Can I
hindsight.
just also acknowledge the dad basically credit where credit's due to the voice actor, but he essentially sounds like Shasta Cola Frank Welker.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you get that vibe
No,
too.
I absolutely. He's very Frank Welkery.
Like I had to check and I'm like, no, that's definitely not Frank Welker.
Believe me, Tiki, we know Frank Welker, and that, sir, is no Frank Welker.
But it's got that Frank Welker vibe. Like I said, it's not even Diet Coke Frank Welker. It's like Shasta Cola Frank
You know what's
Welker.
funny though? Speaking of Frank Welker,
Mm.
his name is Frank though.
That's true.
Apparently,
It is.
Frank Spankenheimer, and so Scott McNeil plays him. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, he's good. Scott McNeil. He was. Do you remember anything about the Crypto the Superdog show?
Oh man, I must have watched an episode once or twice when I was watching Cartoon Network, but no, I can't say I remember
Well,
much.
if you he was the voice of Ace the Bat Hound, who was
Okay.
basically kind of like the Batman foil to Crypto in that show.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that show being watchable, so
Yeah.
I'm sure he did a good job in it.
Also, I think he was in the ocean dub that no one cares about for Dragon Ball Z. He was Piccolo.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, but again, that's the one no one cares about though.
Uh-huh.
The only thing we got out of that was it's over 9,000.
Oh, jeez.
It's
Well,
the
I mean,
only.
that's not nothing.
I know it's like the one reason we can't overlook Ocean's 11. They did give us the line.
Right.
As much as we love Chris Sabat, we don't. We don't. He's just saying it pissed off. We're not getting like the overly dramatic. It's over 9,000. Anyway, we're trailing off.
Z&K is asking, what wasn't Scott the skeleton and some other characters in Scary
I
Godmother?
believe he was Mr. Pettybones, but I'm unsure. Yeah, he was. I'm pretty sure that was the same actor in Scary Godmother. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I love me some Scary Godmother, so I'm pretty sure that's him.
Yeah, so pretty prominent voice actor in his own right.
Yeah.
Credit where credit's due.
And anywho, sorry, getting off track with the Daddy
No, you're good.
Spankenheimer here. So, let's see. So we have the iconic song play out, which again, here's the problem I have looking back, and it never really occurred to me because again, as a kid, I'm wrapped up and I'm watching it. I was like, oh my god, we just run over Grandma. What's going to happen next? Which, by the way, that special was my introduction to the song too. By the way, I didn't have like the song and then the special, but looking back on it now, it feels. The song lyrics imply a really horrific scene, potentially lethal scene here. Okay, it's like hoof prints on her back.
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
everything. So the visuals show she's perfectly fine. She just got knocked over. Like initially we see the body in the snowbank and she's fine.
Right, right.
Little tipped over, I'm sure, maybe a little groggy, but yeah, that's the thing. But she's. I don't know. It just feels very off. Just given the song because they had nowhere else to go. So okay, we can't kill her off, and then all the stuff that follows is like, well, we just hit her with a sleigh, and then she's vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't know. It just it just
And then as we get into the whole like grandma vanished and we need to prove that she's still around because of the I think the first act is probably the most fun part of this, right? Is that fair to
yeah.
say?
No, I think that's fair to say. And
And
then
not to I think the third act is also a lot of fun. We'll get there. I think the second act is kind of where it drags, where it's just kind of like the second act very much just kind of feels like the writers desperately trying to kind of like like make something out of nothing when it comes to adapting the song.
yep, it's like okay, so what do we do? Well, grandma's actually dead. But like, no, we can't kill her off on a family, kid. We can't market that. Like, okay, she's alive. How is she alive? I don't know. She was kidnapped. Kidnapped? Why would Santa kidnap her? I don't know. Amnesia. All right, fine. Put it in.
I mean, it's like yeah, you're right. That's pretty much how they got there. It makes sense to some extent where I honestly think we should have focused a little bit more on the North Pole. I don't necessarily think the whole Grandma X thing should have been a reveal. I
Yeah.
think that Grandma X should have been like a big plot point. Like we should have been cutting between the North Pole and
Mm-hmm.
what is the city called again? Remind me. It's got like
Tiki. Very simple name. It's Cityville.
that's right. Yeah. I
It's
wonder if it's
town.
like
It's Townville. It's Townsville's cousin.
no, I think Townsville is just the suburb of Cityville. I think that's how it works.
Okay, let me tell you why this whole thing with this whole Santa plotline doesn't work. Okay, it never really occurred to me until looking over with a fine tooth comb that I have now. There's a giant gaping plot hole here. Okay, Santa Claus, who we firmly established is Santa Claus who is good at his job. He knows all the kids. He knows what they want, even when they've grown up, as we see with the awesome Austin Bucks. You're Austin Bucks. You wanted a Lieutenant Neutron action figure when you were a kid. It's like, oh yeah, Lieutenant Neutron. He was awesome. Yeah. So we've firmly established he remembers these kids even when they grow up, right?
Yeah,
So
I know
you
what you're
mean
gonna say, yeah.
so you mean to tell me Santa Claus knows all the kids, grown and small? He
Maybe it's like
can't.
a Santa Claus Tim Allen situation where it's like he might not be the Santa Claus who was around during Grandma's time period. I got you
Maybe.
there.
I don't know. I don't know. He seems to be. We're doing the old man Santa thing and everything with voice and visual here. I don't know, but
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
either way, even okay. Here's the thing. Even taking that logic into account, Tiki, think about this. Between knowing them or even just common sense, he can't deduce old lady walking from the Spankenheimer house might be grandma.
Right, right, right.
Just
Yeah.
a slim chance. Here's the okay. Here I'm going to raise you even this. Okay, even just saying okay, maybe just a random like a lady getting exercise on Christmas Eve for some reason. Let's just take that into it. Okay. In 9 months, with all the resources, because it's
Yeah.
9 months from
Yeah.
when this happens, and he essentially kidnapped this woman instead of taking her to a hospital or a nearby hospital, in fact. She has amnesia.
I know
nine
that
months.
face.
In 9 months, he can't think of any other viable solution to this problem. It's like we're gonna take her as our own. We're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
keep her
not great.
bedridden for 9 months too. We're not gonna let her walk around. Just keep her
Right,
in bed
right.
like she's freshly got amnesia. A lot of holes in that, my friend. That's a Christmas sweater that's been eaten by moths.
Can we just talk about this stupid courtroom stuff?
Well, don't you want to talk about the other stuff with Act Two
No, no, I'm
first?
I'm kidding. We don't want to. I'm just saying, like you're absolutely right that if you break down the plot at all in the second act, it really doesn't add up.
Yeah. So let's so again, says the day after, we called again. The kids like frantically saying, "Grandma just got injured. Can we please go out and check?" And they barely care.
That pissed me off,
Yeah.
bro. That I think is the most frustrating scene out of this whole special. Is just like, oh no, she's fine. There's no such thing as Santa, so therefore nothing bad could have happened to Grandma. It's like, motherfucker, she could have gotten hit by a car, and this kid's just delusional. You
See,
fucking assholes.
had they just walked outside, they would have seen at least the sign. Even if she was already captured, already taken, would have seen, hey, look, tracks, grandma imprint, like a Looney Tune, like going through a wall. It's like clearly something's happened there. It's a chalk outline in snow right there. Look at that.
Right.
Well, yeah. So Z and K, that's what I'm saying. He's Mr. Pettibone.
I didn't mean to highlight that. Sorry.
Anyway. All right. What was I good? Oh, okay. So then the next day we have our Fargo cops there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's exactly what they are.
Yep. And we have this whole Santa Claus is real syndrome thing that Cousin Mel's putting out there. Apparently, it's like it's a in-universe real thing, which is dumb. To have a syndrome attached to it.
It is in universe real. You know what I do like? That's an in universe real thing.
What?
The police codes.
Oh yeah, the whole 12.
We got a 1224. We got a 1224. That's cute.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right, let's see. Yeah, so they find the dog. By the way, the dog's doing all the heavy lifting for the police in this.
Can we just remind the audience what the dog's name is?
Yes, we may. Tiki hit him with it.
Nah, you hit him with it, Dragon.
Doofus.
Fucking doofus, dude. Come on. Like, what is with the names in this special? Kind of have me convinced that everyone working on this thing was just not taking it seriously at all. They were just kind of trolling. The fact that they call that costume a troll costume is kind of proof positive of that, honestly.
I mean, he has like the nose and everything. Like it's more goblin or troll or something. I don't know.
Maybe it's the glitch gremlin from the Angry Video Game Nerd.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, Tiki.
He just came out with a new episode with the glitch gremlin, and it's legitimately one of the most fucking terrible YouTube videos I've ever seen in my life. Sorry, Cinemassacre fans. Doug Walker current day is way better than James Rolfe current day. I'm just gonna say it. Sorry. Anyways.
Except for his ads.
I happen to look, I will take a fucking batshit crazy Doug Walker ad over like one of those painful transitions where it's like, if you work on the Death Star and you have unresolved trauma that you need to get worked out, well, that's a good time to call my sponsor, BetterHelp, where you can get you know what I mean, where it's like they try to work the ads into the subject of the video and it just insults my intelligence. I'd rather take Doug's ads than that.
I don't know. Anyway, I just think I'm anti. They're all bad. All the ads are bad. Anyway,
Doug puts effort into his.
I mean, I don't think he's put as much effort as you might think into those ads.
All right.
Anyway, so it's the Fargo cop actually was it's Marie Canker from Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see it.
Yep. I bring that up for this. We had almost the entirety of the voice cast is Canadian talent, which is kind of funny.
I mean, this special does kind of have a Canadian vibe to it.
That's the thing. It's kind
of maybe that's why it feels so offbeat, is the fact that it's essentially Canadians making fun of stereotypically American Christmas. Like, really, that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Laser Dude gets the last laugh again.
Oh, God.
Yep. Him just wearing a big cable knit sweater with a maple leaf on it, just laughing at us.
So Laser Dude's a Survivor fan, right?
He survived Canada. Okay, good for him.
Okay, no. This is an actual.
I know. He likes Survivor. I know.
Okay, so like Survivor has been in what they called the new era recently, where ever since season 40, which was a big all-winner season, it's just been called season 42, season 43, etc. And Dragon, out of 7 seasons so far, I believe 3 winners have been Canadian. And I think Laser Dude must just get a kick out of that. Every time a Canadian does well on Survivor, I think of Laser Dude. Anyways.
Anyway. Okay, let's see. So again, then we have the stakes established here. So Cousin Mel, she tricks Grandpa into selling the store. By this is such a scumbag thing for Cousin Mel to do. I made you take me to my favorite restaurant. It's just like, really, you couldn't just take me somewhere? It's like you had to have him take you.
Oh man.
This is gonna sound okay. This is gonna sound weird, and I'm gonna try and connect the dots on this as gingerly as I can, because I'm not trying to take him to a sick and wrong place. I assure you. But
that would be my job.
Well, that's true. I can't remember the exact year this stuff went down, but it does seem kind of close. And just the design of Cousin Mel, like the beauty mark and everything on her face, it does seem like, I don't know, I'm getting some Anna Nicole Smith vibes here.
Ooh. Except Anna Nicole was blonde.
Well, yeah, but I guess what I'm getting at is just more so the fact of like the undue influence kind of factor here. I'm not taken into the sick and wrong direction, but still, it's very much like it's the shady. I'm gonna to get the money. I'm gonna make you sign everything away to me.
No, for sure.
Like she literally said, "Make me power of attorney over your money." So
except with one obvious caveat, which is that they are not in a actual relationship.
Yes, thank goodness. Yes, it's a Christmas special from down.
Smith, dude, that was an era. An era.
That's what I'm saying. I think I forget if Nicole Smith was like late '90s, early 2000s, or just early 2000s. It was.
I want to say early 2000s. She was probably around in the late '90s, but she really exploded in the early 2000s.
Well, I remember like when they were doing The Mask, she was in contention for the Cameron Diaz role for Tina.
But she's probably. I'm just saying, all the crazy like celebrity tabloid shit happened in the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at, Tiki. So I'm saying the whole I forget what the guy's name was, but essentially that guy, the old decrepit rich guy that she was basically married to, that guy. That was
Skeletor Dragon.
What?
I said, let's just call him Skeletor.
Skeletor.
I mean, let's face it. That's the role Jimmy Carter is. They should have just cast Jimmy Carter as Skeletor instead of fucking Jared Leto.
God. Oh, right, Skeletor. It sounds like you're saying Skeletor.
Well, same difference. I'm sorry.
Anyways. Anyway, but yeah. So, anywho, regardless, I'm just saying, like, I think all that tabloidy kind of stuff happened maybe in, if not 2000, then like very, very cusp of the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so then we have the whole like grandma's grandma's like having the Christmas with a superstar, and essentially with Elvis and everything. Anyway, so beyond that, we get to Jake. He makes his plea to Austin Bucks, like, no, you can't sell a store. She tricked him to sign the paperwork. It's like, grandma's still alive. Just give me a chance to find her. We are introduced to Slime the attorney. Again
with the names, dude.
I'm Slime. Hey, you said it, not me. That's still funny to me.
It's
I still
so
love
self-aware.
it.
That's the thing. The special is so self-aware about its ridiculousness. I love it for that.
Yeah.
Yes, Little Blue, we know, and I am not happy about it. We will talk about it on Memoirs. Trust me. Jared Leto needs to be deplatformed, but I will save that. I mean, I feel like I'm just going to say that every time he gets cast in a major, like, franchise role. Whatever. Same shit, different day. Anyways.
Yeah.
So back to the fun, silly Christmas stuff.
Yes, so
not the legit Predator who's still somehow getting work.
Okay.
Look it up.
All right.
Just saying.
Stop letting Jared Leto ruin our Christmas, Tiki. Like, stop it. Okay. Anyway,
Jared Leto is just our Krampus.
He's very much an antichrist figure, one could say.
Oh God.
Well, I'm just saying literally because he has like the Christ look about him all the time. It's
he's like the evil Spock version of Christ.
Yeah, there you go. He could sharpen the look. He could do something evil with it if he put his mind to it. I'm sure he could. Anyway, Slime the attorney, who's taking 30% plus expenses, which is really evil.
Mm-hmm.
Is cousin Mel's partner in crime. It's they're a fun duo, and of course they get us. Grandpa's gonna sue the pants off for Santa.
Which, I mean, let's just be perfectly clear here. That little bit is absolutely the most memorable part of this special, hands down, and it always will be. It is such an earworm. It is such a what the fuck out of nowhere song. I honestly love it to death. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I just love to be able like them and
I
like.
just love how culpable and like in league with cousin Mel this lawyer is. Like, this lawyer is more slip than Slip and Jimmy. You know what I mean? She is just very outwardly like, yeah, I'll help you purge this case for my own benefit.
Oh
No
yeah.
problem. Like, there's no moral wrestling about it at all. I feel even Saul Goodman, like just full on Saul Goodman, would be less, less this outwardly slimy than this woman is.
I agree for sure on that one. I don't know. There's something I don't know. They do feel like they compliment each other very well for their their designs on getting this Austin Bucks deal to go through.
Uh-huh.
It's very much like it's very much the Sandpiper Crossing settlement money plot. It's tell me on some level, just for our own silly purposes, you don't want to see like Jim McGill and Saul Goodman and Kim Wexler doing a variation of this.
Tell me, how dare you suggest that I wouldn't want to see that, sir? Of course I would love to see that.
just like imagine like you have Saul Goodman wearing like a hula skirt, just like on top of like he's wearing like a Hawaiian shirt, and he's got like the hula the hula thing, like a big hat,
Oh my god.
Yep. Do a whole music video of it where then he's in the pool like he was at the top of season 2.
Yes, yeah. Oh, I can picture it so clearly in my head. Oh my god. Oh, that's beautiful. Someone needs to make that. Even just like a like one of those like AMVs where it's like they just cut together like a montage of Better Call Saul footage to the song. Just with Jimmy McGill in various tropical attire.
Yeah. Okay, so Jake's on a time crunch. He's got to find Grandma. So what does he do? He turns to the internet. No, he turns to that would be the modern day solution. No, he emails. The advent of email.
So basically, like very 90s internet.
Yes. So, enter Quincy the elf.
Who's again a really one of the few characters who actually has a respectable name, which is funny.
Yeah, he's got a very ET kind of moment with the kid too, like the whole little finger touch and like zap. It's funny. All right, so point being, Quincy the elf. He, we learned that again. Grandma has been in the North Pole for 9 months with amnesia. Apparently nearly trampled to death.
You might want to get on that, Santa. You got a missing person on your hands. You might want to actually try to find her identity.
Yeah. Instead of kidnapping the elderly, you sicko. So anyway, we take Jake to the North Pole. He's reunited with Grandma. Here's what I want to mention, though. Again, I love that here, but more so earlier on when Grandma was hit. The only person that actually saw this with him, per the song, and this was a mandate, Grandpa had to believe as well. So he saw it. He saw her get hit as well. And I love that little connecting tissue between, Jake and Grandpa are connected by 2 threads. One, the song, basically the singer voicing both adult Jake and Grandpa. It was a great touch.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But again, per that, because they are linked in that song and have that moment here, they see that Grandma was hidden. Later on, they pick her up when she's hit the second time. And like Jake says, I'm going to the North Pole to find Grandma. Well, thanks for telling me.
I love that. Yeah.
There's something vaguely emphasis, vaguely Grandpa Lou-like with.
Oh no, I don't think it's vaguely. I mean, we practically get a 15-mile story at the beginning of this. I think this character is very Grandpa Lou shaded.
Yeah. See, the age-old grandpa question: Grandpa Lou or Grandpa Phil?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
That is the age-old grandpa debate right there.
I my head says Lou. No, my head says Phil, but my heart says Lou.
Right, I have the same. I'm not joking. I have the same thing.
Like I think Phil is probably like objectively the more complex,
Yes,
well fleshed out character, but Lou is just like so much nostalgia there.
exactly. I still geek out. I think the kids would say Stan. I still stand for for Lou Pickles in that episode early Rugrats, like back when Tommy just got into baby shenanigans before we really went all I'm not saying it's an issue that we did this. I'm saying that was like the development. We had the early Tommy series, like baby basically we had baby's day out all over the place with Tommy Pickles in season 1 of the Rugrats.
Uh-huh.
And they went to the grocery store and basically got separated from Lou, and Lou was basically playing hard boiled detective, like just trying to find the baby, and it was awesome. Oh, so cool. Anyway, so Grandpa talk aside, Santa Claus, traditional, with the exception of kidnapping the elderly. He's a quality Santa
I
Claus. He's
do like
mostly
that
good.
he's a little bit like he's still in the traditional mold, but he's a little bit more cynical than your usual Santa. Like I think the Santa kind of strikes a really good balance between like cynical Santa and traditional Santa. He's kind of right in the middle.
Yeah. Anyway, but no, you're right. It's that he I really enjoy the detail that he's almost like the bit in Elf, where we have like holy Christmas spirits like down to this much percentage. Is that no like the only one in Cityville that believes in him is Jake Spankenheimer.
Uh
Like the only kid who believes in him because of this whole stupid Santa Claus syndrome thing.
huh. Right,
Might
right.
be a commentary on kind of overparenting in the early 2000s potentially. Anyway, so Santa Claus seemingly, he's on the up and up as far as like being good at his job with the kids and everything goes. But you're right though, there's some rascaliness about him.
Uh huh.
Anyway, so again,
You know what's a really, really depressing thought that just went through my head, and I really haven't made this connection at all until this moment. I wonder how many modern day kids realize there's no such thing as Santa simply by Googling it.
huh?
Isn't that depressing? Isn't
That
that a
would,
depressing thing to think about?
yeah, it is pretty depressing.
Because kids get smartphones like earlier and earlier. Like I don't know. I feel like the whole magic of like, okay, that like 5 year window when he's when they're old enough to like comprehend what Santa is, but young enough to actually conceivably believe. I don't know, man. I don't have kids. I'm never gonna have kids, but it's kind of an interesting conundrum though with the smartphone thing. Anyways.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so I haven't already mentioned the whole Lieutenant Neutron thing, Austin Bucks, which I really liked. Anyway, so just by happenstance, Cousin Mel. This is where we get into the kind of the third act stuff here. Cousin Mel and Slime, they kidnap Grandma again. We just keep kidnapping this poor old lady.
That's where the plot really goes off the rails, is just kidnapping her a second time. It's like, really, guys, really, we need that conflict. Which apparently we do, because again, it's a paper thin song and we're trying to milk it. So, we got to pad that 50-minute runtime somehow.
Yeah. So we're hiding her away in a cabin and everything because we need stakes. And apparently the trial, like we've arrested Santa and put him on trial for like 3 months. It feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I love the cold for the DA sign, by the way. I thought that was really funny. Oh, it's a shame that wasn't a Miracle on 34th Street. Cold for the
Oh
DA.
man, that would be a perfect Miracle on 34th Street sign. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then we have the court case, and you and I we enjoy a good
Instead of
court.
all, it's Dragon. Instead of all the letters to Santa at the end of Miracle in 44th Street, it'd just be like, just a whole bunch of packages of coal. Like, shame on you. This is what you get. All right.
Okay, anyway, so we're doing the court case. Ultimately, Jake enters with Grandma and the evidence to exonerate Santa Claus, which we have like this great thing. We're making the jury eat fruitcake.
Mhm.
Yeah, which
Let
is
them eat fruitcake.
yep, we let him eat fruitcake. In the name of justice, we let him eat fruitcake.
I just love the whole like genuinely like, do we have to?
I love that jurist. I still love that juror. Plus, I love he's got like the cartoonishly exaggerated. He has a very comic strip looking face.
Dragon, you know the Nicholas Holt Clint Eastwood movie Juror Number 2?
Tell me they have. Did you watch it yet?
No, I haven't. I know it just came on Max. I'm
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
to watch it.
Me too.
But
Me too.
no, just imagine if that trial came down to fucking fruitcake.
Oh god, this fruitcake tastes like lies.
Oh my god.
Guilt. This is a cute idea. The idea again, obviously we're taking big cues from Miracle on 34th Street. Only we actually went to trial versus a hearing. It's like we're gonna eat fruitcake, and then we have like the good one, and then we have the reindeer nip poisoned one.
Right.
So again, then of course,
I love just the reindeer that comes out like, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, Jacob and I were talking, and Jacob mentioned to me. I guess he wants me to kind of share here that he loved that bit in the trailer, and he kind of wondered if he imagined it from the marketing. Like I don't think he's seen Grandma Got Over by Reindeer, and he basically
What, the
wondered.
whole I'm sorry, I just couldn't control myself?
Yeah, because again, apparently something's in the marketing.
No, Jacob, it's very real and very funny.
I couldn't control myself. But that's it's just the reindeer that goes wah.
Oh God.
I love that detail too. Is that the reindeers go very specific. Goes waha when they hear that. When they have the reindeer nip smell happen. Then Doofus the dog just presents like the incriminating evidence is like dusted for fingerprints, and they don't even have to because Cousin Mel just kind of cops to it all. It's like I love the legal strategy here. It's just and like if only it were that easy, Tiki.
I know, right?
It says I murdered the family, and I buried the bodies there, and I didn't pay any of my taxes, and I hate Christmas. All right, there we go. So Santa Claus, his name is cleared. Jake, here's the whole thing. The fact that we added a whole saved Christmas plot to Grandma got run over by a reindeer, it just feels, I mean, in part, I'm not trying to make any parallels to any certain movies that were released this year, but it does feel like, okay, so we've committed slahicular, a slahicular hit and run incident here. And then Santa Claus would logically be brought to trial, you would imagine, for doing so. But that's the thing, though, is just they really to do it as a saved Christmas plot. It's like, well, no, Santa Claus, he committed the crime. He didn't stick around. He didn't just take her to a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't just knock on the family's door. It's like, well, look, I know you're busy, Santa, but come on. I know, he said, basically, the explanation that he did have in the special is that she was getting free health care, which again, Canadian, very Canadian,
very Canadian coded.
It's to the end.
Grandma with these fucking Americans.
Yeah, I mean they'll let her die in that hospital. We gotta do something. You're the one who pummeled her with reindeer, unlicensed reindeer.
Oh God. Let's see. Code Gios says, I can agree that the special isn't perfect, but for me, it's a solid 7.5 out of 10. Honestly, that's right about where I'd put my number. I mean, not 7.5 as far as there's definitely a lot of problems with it, but it's elevated just by how self-aware it is about how batshit it is. Well, that's probably my final thought on the matter, Dragon. Do you have anything else?
Well, I mean, real quick, we should mention two things. So one, Austin Bucks, he saw the light. He franchised Spankenheimer, so that was good. He saw the error in his ways there, without being a bad guy at all, which was I appreciated. And then we run over Grandma again, so Santa Claus learned nothing at the end of the
day. I do love that. And the fact that, she is just by and large just fine. She kind of shakes it off like she probably could have at the start of this whole mess.
Yeah. I mean, I think at least here, we see the hoof marks and everything on her, and she's walking it off somehow. But it's oh God, she's there's a bloodier end to that special.
Oh God, could you imagine if at the end it's just and she's really dead this time, guys? Crap. Yeah, that was a fatal one.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, yeah. So look, Grandma Got Run Over by Reindeer. It's not Yates. It's not. but it's, it does feel traditional. It feels like this is the ugly Christmas sweater as a special. That's essentially what this is. This is the knitwear of nostalgia.
Uh-huh.
It's a thing that's, look, it's not great. It doesn't hold up, but there's a warm and fuzzy.
Okay, Drag. Oh, sorry, you cut out. You were saying warm and fuzzy, and
Yeah,
then
it's
you
the
cut
warm. It's the warm and fuzzy feeling that you have. It's like the grandma knit sweater.
out. Exactly.
Anyway, so I got
We
fondness
got
for.
Nana sweater, people. We got Nana sweater.
Yep. So look, it doesn't hold up the way I thought way I kind of hoped it might, but there's some charm there. It's definitely kind of a bygone era of like making the songs into a Christmas special. Does it hold up like the Rankin Best of? Heck no. Is it still like something you might watch a few minutes of, or at least give it a shot around the holidays? It gets a Christmas pass of a special. It's like one of those.
For sure.
All right.
All right, so I want to thank Z&K, Code Geass, Teddy, and the Little Blue for joining us. And Dragon, we got one more left, so let's go ahead and do a little peek behind the wrapping paper. What do we got?
Let's see. Oh man, I think we got this before. Wait a minute. Nope, I'm looking at it again.
Dragon. I think I see John Hammond's mosquito ivory cane. Is this the Jurassic Park Christmas special?
Are we going to sit through the presentation this time?
Oh my god, if only, dude. That's the only thing Dragon and I want for Christmas every year.
Yep. We want to appreciate the work that they put into that presentation. That's what we want to do, okay? That man, it's another. We love a Dickie Attenborough.
Oh, I love how this is a running thing with us.
Look, we want the charm of John Hammond saying hello to himself and giving us a tour of the place. That's all we want. We want the convenience of not having to get up from our seats. Anyway, so it'll be a miracle if we can get through that podcast without making that joke.
I'm totally down for that.
There'll be a remake of that podcast too while we're at it. All right. All right, folks. Time to dash away all. But as we wave goodbye, don't you cry. We'll be back again next time
for even more seasonal shenanigans.
Fa la la
la la la la la la la la la la la. Grandpa's gonna sue the pants off of Santa.